A very good afternoon to one and all. Dear students, since you didn't see me before, let me introduce myself. I am C.B. Joseph, your new English teacher. So, I know that you, the students of 8th standard, have already started discussing the lessons, and I know that you have started discussing the third section and first section under the first unit. So, now I am going to engage the second section in the first unit. So, before going to engage or before going to take the second section, let me discuss something introductory to these. Before going to the introductory section, please have a look at this textbook. So, this is your textbook, and when you closely analyze, you can find that there are 6 units, and in each unit you will have 3 sections. So, now let me discuss something about the title of the first unit. The first unit is titled Roads Less Taken. And now I have a question to you. So, whenever you listen to me, so always hold your textbook with you, so that if in case I ask anything, you will be able to follow me and you will be able to answer me. So, have a look at this title, Roads Less Taken. And now please tell me, what is the first thing which comes to your mind when you have come across this title? Tell me, think and respond. So, what is the idea or what is the thing which comes to your mind when you have come across this title? Anyway, well, the idea which comes to my mind when I have come across this title is very famous poem written by Robert Frost, a very famous poet in English literature. So, the name of the poem is Road Not Taken. And now again another question. So, all of you please read aloud Roads Less Taken, and this title invests me the idea of road not taken, that means a very famous poem written by Robert Frost. So, now tell me, what is the similarity between these two titles? Can you find any similarity or can you find any resemblance? What is the similarity you can find when you closely differentiate these two titles? Yes, there is a common factor here. What is that? Or there is a common thing here. What is that? Here roads and here road. So, here is a reference to roads which are used by less people, or here is a reference to road used by none. So, what may be the reason why these roads are preferred rarely, or what might be the reason why these roads are taken by none? Anyway, we can find a very simple answer. There is something special for these roads. Maybe it is very difficult to travel. So, that means it is special from the usual roads, or it is special from the other roads that might actually stop people from selecting or preferring these rods. Okay. So, these rods are special, and that is the key idea, special. And what do you mean by special? In our everyday life, we often come across different usages using this word special. We often say, today is a special day, or we often say, I will have a special gift for you. So, what is that? What is the meaning? When I say today is a special day, that means today is entirely different from other days. So, there is something that makes today special. That means it is not an ordinary day. So, special here we can simply say that special means extraordinary. Now, please hold these two words in your brain. Now, let us think about two great personalities. So, the first one is you all know, the first one is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and the second one which I am going to introduce you is Dr. K.R. Narayan. And also hold the key idea, special or extraordinary. We can say that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Dr. K.R. Narayan, both of them are special. When I say both of them are special, what do you understand from that? Or eventually there is the chance for another question. What is that? What makes them special? So, that is my question, my another question to you. I mentioned that these people are special or they are extraordinary. Then please respond that what makes them special or what makes them extraordinary. That is my question. Because we can say that they led an unusual life or they led an extraordinary life. Again, two key terms, unusual and extraordinary. These people are special only because they led an unusual life or they led an extraordinary life. That means they never think that nothing is impossible for them. If you closely analyze the life span of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Dr. K.R. Narayan, you can observe that both of them were born and brought up in very poor circumstances. Even though they were born and brought up in poor circumstances, they became great personalities years later. And that is the point I am going to make. Dr. K.R. Narayan was the first Dalit president from India, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he was also the President of India, and more than that, he contributed much to the field of science and technology, and he is regarded as a missile man of India. So, how they achieved all these things? That is the point. Both of them born and brought up in a poor family. See, for example, imagine that when they were born and brought up in a poor circumstances, imagine that they think, oh, this is not possible for me, it is impossible for us. If they think so, we will never get a missile man, we will never get a first Dalit president. So, they have shown the courage to take challenges, or they have shown the courage to take challenges, or they fought fiercely to face all the hardships in their life. In other ways, we can say that these are the people who prefer to travel by the less used roads. That is the point I want to make. These are the people who prefer to use the less traveled roads. Again, now you tell me what is actually the meaning of roads here. Now tell me. So, I have already mentioned that they are the people who are Abdul Kalam and K.R. Narayan are the people who prefer to use the less travel roads. So, we can say that the road is a suggestive term, or the road is a symbol of what? The road is a symbol of attitude or the way of life. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Dr. K.R. Narayanan have a positive attitude. They have a way of their own. They don't imitate others. They don't think that what the other world is thinking about them. So, my point is that you should always have a positive attitude to take challenges as Abdul Kalam and K.R. Narayanan did. Then only you will be special and extraordinary. And this world wants special and extraordinary people. Now, please come back. When you closely analyze the 3 sections included in the first unit, you can find that it is all about people who led an unusual life, or it is all about people who did something extraordinary in their life. And as a result, they became special, they became extraordinary, they became famous in the world. So, the main idea conveyed in this unit, or the main thing which should be inculcated in you while learning this unit is you have to face varying challenges and you have to explore the world and be a special individual like great personalities did. So, that is the point you have to learn from this unit. So, in that way, the first unit clearly introduces several characters in front of us who have proved to the world that they are successful by doing something special. Now, we can just have a glance at the second section. Just have a look at the second section. So, the second section is about Ajit Bajaj. and Diya Bajaj, the first father daughter who successfully reached the summit of the Mount of Everest. So, in that way, they proved that they are special and they are extraordinary. So, now please hold your textbook so that we can go through the second section. Adventure is a way of life. So, the section is titled as Adventure is a way of life. Now, let us read. Gurgaon based Ajit Bajaj and his daughter Diya Bajaj climbed 8,848 meters to become India's first father-daughter duo to successfully reach the summit of Mount Everest, the world's highest peak, on 16th May 2018. So, this chapter is all about Ajit Bajaj and his daughter Diya Bajaj from Gurgaon. Gurgaon is actually a region, or Gurgaon is actually a place in New Delhi. And this chapter shows how they became successful in climbing the mountain of Everest. And there is a new word, father-daughter duo. What do you mean by duo? Duo is actually, look at the blackboard, two people who work or collaborate as partner. So, here Ajit Bajaj and his daughter Diya Bajaj together climbed the Mount Everest. So, they have been considered as the first father-daughter duo. Okay, now let us go to the first paragraph. It was Ajit Bajaj, a Padma Shri awardee, and his daughter Diya's first attempt at climbing Mount Everest. And despite life-threatening challenges, extreme weather conditions and the arduous nature of the climb, they came back home feeling wonderful and proud. So, this chapter is all about Ajit Bajaj and Diya Bajaj, how they climbed the Mount Everest, how much difficulties they faced when they climbed the Mount Everest. All those things are going to be discussed in this chapter. And the first paragraph says that Ajit Bajaj and Diya Bajaj, only out of their hard work, they became able to climb the Mount of Everest by overcoming so many difficulties. It is said that there were so many life-threatening challenges. See, for example, if they go to climb the Mount Everest, there were so many difficulties that may actually destroy their life. There were so many difficult climate conditions, and nothing made them afraid of what they are doing. So, instead, they conquered everything, and finally, with their hard work, they successfully became the first father-daughter to climb the Mount of Everest. And in the first paragraph, it is said that Ajit Bajaj is a Padma Shri awardee. And what do you mean by Padma Shri? Padma Shri is actually the fourth highest civilian award in our country. So, let me say that there are 4 highest civilian awards in India. I think that you know it. What are they? The first one, Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna is regarded as the highest civilian award in India. And the second largest one is Padma Vibhushan. And the third comes Padma Bhushan, and the last one is Padma Shri. And all these awards were given to people who have proved great in different fields. So, Ajit Bajaj is actually a Padma Shri holder here. Now, let us move to the second paragraph. Over a decade ago, 53-year-old Ajit Bajaj, who runs a couple of adventure travel companies, became the first Indian to ski to the North Pole and to the South Pole within a year. So, Ajit Bajaj is a person who is very much interested in going for adventure trips. So that is what he runs many adventure travel companies. As a result, he became the first Indian to ski to the North and South Pole within a year. And what do you mean by ski? Ski is actually, look at the blackboard, move over snow on skis. So we have seen that Ajit Bajaj is very much interested in climbing the mountains, sliding over snow or something like that. So it is only because of his interest in adventure trips, he became the first Indian to ski. To ski means to move over snow on skis. To ski to the North and South Pole within a year. So in that way, he became the first person who has been awarded such a rare acknowledgement. His elder daughter, Diya, trained at the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi before she undertook the 20-day Trans-Greenland skiing expedition in 2011 when she was 17. And his daughter too was very much interested in all these things. And even at the age of 17, she went for skiing expedition. And what do you mean by skiing expedition? Skiing means a group of sports utilizing skis as primary equipment. Because of her interest in sliding over the snow and because of her interest in climbing the mountain, she later joined Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi. And after that, she climbed Mount Elbrus. It is another mountain in Europe. She climbed Mount Elbrus, the highest mountain in Europe, in 2012. And after that, she graduated from environmental science because she is very much interested in all these things. The daring father and daughter spoke to ndtv.com on 24th May 2018. And daring means brave. And this brave, this experience, this adventurous father and daughter has given a talk show to ndtv.com, and the important extracts or the important passages from that conversation is given here. Here are excerpts from the conversation. Excerpts means small passage or small extract from that long conversation. Now let us have a look at the small portion given here from that long conversation. A year-long training. Ajit, last year we decided to climb the Everest. Training was super fun. We began by working out at a gym to get into really good shape. We ran and swam together. Then we did an expedition in Ladakh at 20,500 feet in August. The idea was to get out and climb together as a father-daughter team before a big climb. So, actually, they climbed the Mount Everest in 2018, and years back they have started the training. That is what they mention here. Ajit says that last year we decided to climb the Everest. So, last year we had plans on climbing the mountain of Everest. Training was super fun, and the training period was very much funny, was very much memorable, something like that. We began by working out at a gym to get into really good shape. So, these are all preparatory things. The first thing they have to do is they need to be physically fit for climbing the mountain. So, for that reason they went to a gym. They went to a gym and they want to make the body fit to climb the mountain. We ran and swam together. All these things have done for making their body suitable for climbing the mountains. They used to run, they used to swim together. Then we did an expedition in Ladakh at 2,500 feet in August. And when they completed all those exercises at the gym, or when they felt that their physique is enough to conduct such an expedition, they did a preparatory thing. They went to Ladakh and climbed 20,500 feet. This was only for what? The idea was to get out and climb together as a father-daughter team before a big climb. So, they wanted themselves to be fit for the big climb that has to be done. So, that is what they went to Ladakh for an expedition. And as I said earlier, it was with a view to make themselves very fit for climbing the mountain of Everest. Dia, we did 3 more training expeditions. So, all the way they were making them trained in a better way so that they will be able to climb the mountain of Everest. After that, they went for 3 more expeditions. It is only for making themselves fit for climbing the mountain of Everest. Dia says that after that we went to Nepal in December. We met our Sherpa. What do you mean by Sherpa? Sherpa means a mountain guide. People who give directions, guidelines, instructions for those who are wishing to climb the mountain. So, they went to Nepal in December and they met our Sherpa team, and they had enough guidelines, enough instructions from them, and then they went over Renchilava Pass. It is one among the 3 highest passes in the Everest region. And after that, we went back to Ladakh for a couple of weeks, stayed with the army, and were lucky to spot a snow leopard. Leopard means a wild cat found on those regions. Ajit, when we were confident about ourselves, we attempted the climb from Tibet on April 10th and planted the tricolor on Mount Everest on May 16th. So, Ajit says that when we felt that we were confident to climb the Mount of Everest, they started climbing the historical attempt, and they started from Tibet on April 10 and they successfully reached the Mount Everest on May 16. When they successfully reached the summit, the top of Mount Everest, like other people did, they also used to plant a tricolor flag. Tricolor flag means a flag having vertical or horizontal stripes in different colors. So, when they reached the Mount Everest, as a symbol, they planted a tricolor flag conveying to the rest of the world that they have successfully conquered Mount Everest, or they successfully reached the top of Mount Everest. So, when we have come across the journey of Ajit Bajaj and Dia Bajaj, we can find one thing. There were so many difficulties. There were life-threatening challenges. There were extreme bad climate, but none of them made them discouraged. Because of what? Because they were determined. The entire purpose or the main purpose of them is to anyway they have to climb, or they have to conquer, or they have to reach the summit or top position of Mount Everest. So, in that way they were determined. So, even though they faced varying difficulties on the way to the top of Mount Everest, nothing made them discouraged. So, that is the first thing we have to be learned. Once you determine something, there should not be anything that made you discouraged. So, that is the thing you have to be learned from the story of Ajit Bajaj and Dia Bajaj. And the second message you have to capture from their story is, when you analyze the second paragraph, we can see that actually they have a dream. What was their dream? They want to climb the Mount Everest together. So, when they have such a dream in their mind, from that time onwards, the time when they generated such a dream, from that time onwards, they were working hard on it. So that is a message you have to learn from them. Once you have a dream in your life, then you should not give up. The time when you have a dream, from that time onwards, you have to work hard on it. Then only you will be able to realize that dream. So this is very clearly evident in the case of whom? In the case of Ajit Bajaj and Diya Bajaj. So for example, Ajit has an interest in all those things. So only because of that reason, from the earlier time itself, or from 10 years back, he was actually working for that, because we have seen that he used to run several adventure travel companies or something like that. So from that time onwards, he was working hard on it to realize his dream. Coming to Diya's case, Diya also developed a very passion towards these things right from her earlier childhood. So that is what we have seen in the second paragraph, that even at the age of 17, she started different skiing expedition, and after that, when her interest was higher, then went to join the Nehru Institute of Mountaineering in order to realize his dream. So that means what you have to learn from their life is, once you have a dream in your life, you have to work hard on that. And when coming to the second paragraph, third paragraph, the idea is same, idea is similar. From the time they decided that they want to climb the mountain of Everest, from that time onwards, they were severely working for that. First they went to gym to make their body very much suitable for climbing the mountain, then they used to run, then they used to swim. So all this time they were actually working hard for realizing their dream. And more than that, they have conducted 1 or 3 trial expeditions. First of all, they went to Ladakh and did an expedition. They climbed around 20,500 feet. That was only a preparatory thing. Then they conducted some more expeditions. Then they went to Nepal in December. Then they consulted the Sherpa team. So that means they are doing everything in preparation for realizing their dream. So that means once you decided something, we have to do the follow-up work. That is a message you have to learn from here. As they were able to manage all those things, means overcoming the difficulties, doing something to make them physically fit, or doing something in preparation for climbing the Mount Everest. So when they did all these things, finally they became able to, they became fit for that. And when they felt that they are really fit to climb the mountain of Everest, they started, and that eventually made them as successful. So on April 10th, 2018, on April 10th, they started their mission, and by the middle of May, they were able to reach the summit of Mount of Everest. The lesson we have to learn from them is, we need to face all the difficulties, we need to get determined, we need to follow many follow-up activities. Then only we will be able to realize our dream. Okay, so I hope that the detailed discussion on this chapter will be done in the coming days. So it is the time to wind up. Thank you, my dear students, for listening, for your patient listening. So today itself, please go through the points I have mentioned. Thank you.